Hi guys, and welcome to another batch of your replays, and today we're going to have Chinese, but you don't need to worry, cjacey is going to be bringing it right to your front door. Well, computer screen, but you know what I mean. We're going to have two replays from cjacey today. First one in the WZ-120, the Tier 9 Chinese medium tank, and we're going to be following that up with a game he played in the WZ-132, which is the Tier 8 Chinese light tank, but anyway, we are here on Himmelsdorf, and it's a 55%er, so pretty close game. Tier 9 game, nice matchup for the WZ-120, and we are just going to go. Now, the WZ-120 is not a tank I own yet. I'm pretty close to it. I'm grinding to it. I think I'm about 30 or 40,000 XP away from it. But I'm not a fan of the T-34-3. And this tank reminds me a lot of the T-34-3, the premium Tier 8 Chinese medium tank. And don't know whether I should be looking forward to this tank. It seems to have a lot of the same problems the T-34-3 has. But what gun is cjacey using? He's using the 122mm. So nice penetration, much better penetration on this gun than on the premium tank. Beautiful alpha damage. And cjacey has decided to be quite aggressive in his medium tank. He's going to be working the 8 line. So IS decides to poke, and cjacey gets a lovely shot in for 402 damage. So it seems that the later Chinese medium tanks, or the premium Chinese medium tank, they seem to rely on alpha damage. So cjacey is continuing to work this line. There's a Leva down here, and the Leva is able to get a shot into him. So takes out cjacey's driver, has to use a repair or a first aid kit. And cjacey decides to back off. So the reason I don't like the T-34-3 is it's really poor hull armor and very troll gun. It seems that the reload and penetration on this gun is actually better than it is on the Tier 8 Premium, even though it's a very similar gun. But you are going to be seeing how troll the gun can get later on in this replay. But Leva was able to put a shot in through his lower glacis, and it seems as if the WZ-120 isn't going to be known for its hull armor. But cjacey decides to move again. He backed away, thought the enemy tanks were going to be rushing. He backed away, comes back for more, gets a beautiful shot into the IS. IS is poking, and cjacey is able to finish him off for kill number 1. So cjacey's already on 1200 damage. He's only actually hit 3 shots. That's all down to the alpha damage on this gun. So again, he's going to be poking the corner. Enemy team are being rather aggressive down the 8 line. The E-75 is pushed into the corner of the park. Leva is midway down 8 line. IS-8 on the back corner. But cjacey's team have lost the hill, and I think cjacey realizes that. So he's got the rear of an E-75, and the shot bounces. This is how troll the gun can be. I find this is a problem with a lot of Chinese guns. He bounces on the back of the E-75. Shoots the E-75 on the side just as the side was turning, so maybe the angle was a little bit too much, but 2 shots missed on the back of an E-75, and he takes a shot, another shot from the Leva as a result. And another shot from the Leva. The hull armor on this tank does not look very good. So he goes back for the E-75, actually manages to bounce the shot from the E-75 as tracks eat it. I don't know why he was AFK. That may have been some lag. He shoots the E-75, but some mega lag there forces him to miss the shot. E-75 is desperately trying to reload in time, but cjacey's able to get him in the side for kill number 2. That must have been a big lag spike. So Lerva is advancing, but Lerva's tunnel visioning. Lerva doesn't even realize cjacey's got shots on him. Advances straight past cjacey's position. So cjacey's able to get one shot in. Lerva bounces. And cjacey's able to get another shot in. Quite a long reload. Just over 10 seconds on this gun. So might have been a good thing that the IS-8 took out the Lerva. But cjacey's down to 657 hit points, but he's up to 2,000 damage with 2 kills. So there's still an IS-8 up here, and there's also a KV-3 that was last spotted in the north. So cjacey's just trying to get spots. Excuse me. Trying to spot this IS-8. He notices 2 WZ-120s are advancing down the 1-2 lines. And he decides to get out of there. IS-8 takes out a friendly KV-3, super pushing moving in now. There's an E-75 and an IS-8 going up the hill, I don't know why, but this is why cjacey came back. 2 WZ-120s flanking, and that shot goes low, only manages to track one of them. No damage. So cjacey's going hull down here, and if it's anything like the T-34-3, it has decent frontal hull armor, and there we go. Bounces a shot on his, or sorry, decent frontal turret armor, bounces a shot in the front of his turret. Second WZ-120's moving in, gets another shot in, nice shot, that takes him up to 3k damage. But this WZ-120 is coming in, he is just going all out. So cjacey gets a shot through the front of his hull armor. And now the 2 tanks are face-hugging, looking for shots. Tank seems to have poor gun depression. cjacey gets a shot in through the turret cheek, close range. And he's going to finish him off with a shot through the front of the hull. So yeah, definitely hull armor does seem to be quite weak on this tank. Nice turret armor, weak hull armor. But the enemy team are now capping. There's a WZ-120 in the cap. All the tanks that were in the south of the map or on the bottom of the map are dead. And he just takes a big hit. cjacey takes a big hit in the rear from an IS-8. 50 seconds left, and that E-75 and IS-8, his friendly IS-8 who went up the hill, are now in trouble. So cjacey hangs around long enough to drop off radar, goes for the decap, fires an AP shell. To be honest, I probably wouldn't have risked that. I probably would have just fired HE, because this gun is troll. It bounces for absolutely no reason. But he takes him out with an AP shell. It is now 2 versus 4. And cjacey again is relocating. I'm not sure. I think I would have preferred if cjacey had actually gone back to help the E-75. E-75's on a lot of health, but so are the enemy tanks around him. cjacey does spot the KV-3, so it does look as if cjacey's going back to help the E-75. Unfortunately, that KV-3 spots him coming through, going past a window. Enemy team are capping again. And I really do think cjacey needs to help that E-75. He may be up against lower tier tanks, but there are 3 of them. So AMX M445, and again, accuracy on this gun at range is not good. That shot wafts so high. But cjacey is a one-hit kill, so he can't be too aggressive. And I don't think you can get through here. Yeah, I remember making that mistake when this map first came out as well. So E75 has gone down to stop the cap. Only 25 seconds left. And cjacey's being really, really passive. Yep, all of those tanks still working on the E75. He does have shots on this IS-8. He aims carefully. E75 resets the cap. cjacey gets another shot in to reset it further. E75 finishes off the IS-8, but pays with it for his life, or with his life. Carnarvon takes out the E75. So cjacey is 1 versus 3. He's a one-hit kill for all the tanks on the enemy team. And there's at least one tank in cap. cjacey has a feeling the AMX is flanking him, turns the corner, shoots before being fully aimed, but takes out the AMX M445. He's on 5 kills. It is 1 versus 2 now. So he advances. Good play. Waits till he drops off the radar. Enemy tanks think he's coming that direction. So Carnarvon and KV3, only one is in cap, one is coming, and it turns out it's the KV3. KV3 is on a lot of health. It's going to take at least 2 shots and 2 high rolls to kill this KV3. cjacey is a one-hit kill. cjacey gets a nice shot in. He does get his high roll, 472. That brings the KV3 down to a one-hit kill. I'm not sure which tank has the faster reload, but thankfully, that shot from the KV3 only tracks cjacey. He's still a one-hit kill. I saw the KV3 advancing. 30 seconds left in this game. Is cjacey going to go? He rolls low. This is why I don't like Chinese tanks. He reduced the KV3 to a one-hit kill and then rolled incredibly low, leaves the KV3 on just a tiny fraction of health, enough for the KV3 to kill him. So he wasn't able to decamp, he wasn't able to get his top gun, but still a really, really good game in the WZ-120. I'm not sure. I mean, it's a solid tank, but I'm not sure I'm going to look forward to playing it. It seems to have a lot of the same problems as the T-34-3. So it always sucks to get an ace tanker on a defeat, and that's exactly what that was. cjacey picked up his ace tanker. He also picked up high caliber. RNG, really, really bad RNG at the end. If he'd rolled high on, or even just average on his second shot on the KV3, he probably could have won that game. It was a heartbreaking defeat. But he finished top on XP for his team with 1326. He fired 22, he hit 20, but most of those were at close range. The longer range shots he took actually missed. He hit 20 and penned 18, but that's not a damage total for 18 penetrating shots for a gun that has about 450 average damage. A lot of those shots did module damage, a lot of those shots did track damage, and didn't actually do any damage themselves. So it looks as if this gun is quite troll, just like the 122 is on the T20 or T-34-3. He received 10 hits and only managed to bounce 2, so pretty much most of the shots that hit him in the hull actually penned. A couple were eaten by his tracks, but again, doesn't look as if it has great hull armor. He damaged 8, destroyed 5, did 50 assistance points, and got 16 base defense points. He earned 24,000 credits for that game and 1989 XP. Wasn't the first game of the day, but that was with a premium account. Really, really nice game. Really, really sucky ending. I always hate when that happens, and I've got a couple of ace tankers coming out in the next week or so that where pretty much the same thing happened. Ace tankers on defeats. Really, really hate when it happens. And for our second course of Chinese, cjacey brings us to WZ-132, the Tier 8 Chinese light tank. During the countdown to this game, which is on Prokhorovka, it's a 53% very close game, and it's a Tier 10 game. cjacey was telling his team he was going to be heading over to E1 to do some passive scouting. Let's see how it goes. Now, if you hear some squeaking in the background, it's because my computer chair has decided to develop a squeak. But cjacey, he's doing 67 kilometers an hour. He's trying to get into position. Moving towards E1, and he's just got counter-scouted, so AMX 1390 knows what he's doing. Yep, there goes his Sixth Sense. So, Sixth Sense is going to be going off a lot in this game, because as a result of not getting up to E1, cjacey now has to go into active scout mode. Instead of passive scouting in the bush at E1, he's going to be working the mid-ridge. I think at this point he's still wondering whether or not he can get up to the bush at E1. Goes for a shot on the 1390. Doesn't manage to connect. But there's no way he's going to get up to E1. He acknowledges it in chat. Couldn't get it in time. So now he's going to be doing some active scouting around the middle of the map. Now, it's always important to have a scout or a medium tank active spotting along the mid-ridge, along the F line. Whoa, mega lag. And that was at my end. That wasn't the replay. For some reason my system decided to pause, but I'm already recording. It's a long video, so I don't want to restart. But he does spot the IS-7. And he's continuing to active spot. Keeping this IS-7 lit up because cjacey has 3 RT on his team. So if he can keep spotting tanks, someone is going to hit them eventually. And that AMX 1390 is doing a good job. So again, cjacey moves forward, he spots the IS-7, there was a tree falling in the background, so there's another tank up here as well. There we go, T-30. Not sure who got the spot in the T-30, but IS-7's just taken a big hit, T-30 is getting pummeled. And this WZ-120 and cjacey and the WZ-132 are just keeping this IS-7 lit up. I'm amazed this guy is still alive, especially with 3 RT on cjacey's team. But cjacey decides to go for it, gets a shot into the side of the IS-7. Only 100 millimeters of side armor. WZ-120 takes him out as he turns to deal with cjacey, but now an FV-215B has been spotted, a T-10E3 has been spotted. But they've cleared out the IS-7 who is spotting the tanks down in the bottom corner of the map. Now it's just important to get spots on those tier 10s who are camping on the 2 line. So a tree falling, there's the FV. Oh, and the E3 gets a big shot in. cjacey has just lost all his health. 842 damage taken. Going to be very difficult to pen an E3 from the front, especially in this tank. But he's been spotted again, he's fallen back. There are 2 RT on the enemy team. And now the AMX 1390 decides to go for it. cjacey doesn't have a shot, but the 1390 rams himself to death on the side of the 120. 120 was on low health, but that was some big damage the AMX 1390 did to himself. And here's RT. I was wondering when RT was going to make an appearance. So 2 RT shots in on cjacey's position. And cjacey's getting out of there. So you'll notice that cjacey's constantly on the move. He's changing flanks. He's going to see if he can do some work over here. Gonna try and see if he can maybe snipe up at the hill, but Lots of dangerous tier 9 and 10 tanks in front of him. So again, he's just working this mid-ridge, trying to get spots. That WZ-120 is also having a great game. That T-54 is looking very low on health, and I think cjacey has noticed it. I think cjacey is playing around with the idea of maybe going for that T-54. But in the meantime, he went for a shot on the E3, and again, trying to pen that tank at distance with this gun. I don't think you're going to be able to do it, but unfortunately the WZ-120 goes down. So cjacey needs to keep patrolling. Needs to keep enemy tanks lit up. T-54 is on low health. He is a one-hit kill. But cjacey just lights him up, keeps him lit. Going back to see if he can spot the E3. Don't realize if cjacey realizes he's on premium ammo. Maybe he is, to try and get shots at the E3. Don't know what the pen on the premium ammo is. It's been a while since I played this tank. 244. Okay, still going to have problems going through the E3 at distance. But cjacey is still working the mid-ridge, still trying to get spots. T-54 gets taken out. That gives cjacey a little bit more freedom. Oh, advances, gets spotted. But he's only got 208 health. And something spotted him again. That E3 must have very good view range. Stops in the open after being spotted. Don't know if that's wise, but he's telling his team to move up. Yep, there we go. Artie goes for a shot where he stopped. And it's been a while since I watched that. Forgot that happened. So again, he's advancing. He's trying to get spots for his team. Waiting for his sixth sense to go off. And his team are actually losing. It is 5-7 at the moment. GW Tiger gets counter-artied by enemy Batchat Artie. And it's quite tense. Score is 5-7. A lot of good players on the enemy team. E3 is a one-hit kill if cjacey can get a shot into his rear. I think that's what he's doing. He's tracking the E5. So his team are starting to advance up the one line very aggressively. Gets a shot on the side of the turret of the E5. So that was a very important player to kill. One tier 10 tank out of the game. Best player on the enemy team. So again, cjacey's being rather aggressive. He's going for it. He's finally gone for it. Misses a shot on the move, but he's staying low. He's staying out of the gun line of enemy tanks. E3 misses a shot. Again, pauses to shoot at the E3 from range. Yag Tiger misses a shot. Leopard 1 takes out the E3. Artie's going for him now. Artie's starting to panic. Yag Tiger gets taken out as well. It's just an FV-215B on this side that we're aware of, and there he is. So cjacey is playing with death here. Thankfully the FV wasn't focused on him. He takes out the FV, kills another tier 10 tank, and advances. So there are 2 RT on the enemy team. Okay, spotted in the corner of the map. So cjacey was spotted, goes for a blind shot, takes out the RT. Takes out RT with a beautiful blind shot. Second RT is now spotted. Okay, gets one shot in, doesn't kill him, doesn't roll high enough, but cjacey's on 3 kills. He's been doing some really good active spotting, and we're not going to see until the end plates just how much assistance and spotting damage he did. But this E100 has come up to the railway lines, and he's focused on cjacey. He's willing to sit up there, he's willing to take hits just to kill this scout who's on 200 health. How often do you see that happen? So, 3 tanks left on the enemy team. cjacey's team have turned this around. So goes for a shot in the rear of the E100, fails to penetrate unfortunately. But now he's just going to keep the E100 proxy spotted. He's going to stay within 50 meters of the E100. While RT tries focusing on the E100. There we go. E100 takes a shot from RT, 314 damage. So there are 3 tier 10 tanks left. And cjacey's team have decided that they're going to cap. Now, I'm going to be bringing out a video soon. I was hoping it was going to be this week about capping. The E5 gets taken out. 2 E100s left on the enemy team. Lots of HP, lots of potential credits left on the field. But as I was saying, I was going to bring out a video about capping or not to cap. But it led to something else, so I'm going to be making a different video. Basically, I've got to explain the mechanics of capping and how it relates to credits and XP. And in order to do that, I'm going to have to make an XP and credit guide for World of Tanks. So that's the next thing on the agenda. So cjacey was doing some nice work there. He was circling that E100. Lots of potential damage and XP left on the field. And the E3 and Leopard on his team decide to cap. And that can be rather annoying, especially when you're so close to an ace tanker. He did pick up patrol duty, so his active spotting in the middle was really effective. And he finished top on XP with 1205. If he'd been able to do more damage, been able to maybe even kill the E100, I guess that would probably have been an ace tanker. But 1797 damage, almost 2000 damage in a tier 8 and a tier 10 game. 3 kills, very nice. He finished with 16 shots fired, 15 hits, only 10 penetrations. A lot of those shots were at distance, and the penetration on this gun is not great. But he spotted 4, damaged 6, destroyed 3, and did a whopping 8.5, almost 8,600 spotting damage. That is how effective working actively along the mid-ridge is. When he went into really aggressive mode towards the end, he got a lot of tanks killed as well. But he earned almost 34,000 credits for that game, 1807 XP on a ×2 with a special event going on, left him on 4,065 XP. Really nice scout game, doing a lot of active scouting on Prokhorovka, and usually when I play that map I usually end up playing passively. But again, nice example of what you can do by working that mid-ridge in a scout. Nice game, cjacey, and thank you very much for those replays. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.